everyone. My name is Stella, also known as Solutionary Stella of Nebayot alumni, October 2023 cohort. So we are graduates now. So why did I take the Nebayot course? It's a spiritual intelligence course, by the way. Why did I take it? So I've been following Prophet Joy for a very long time. Not so long, Shabo, over a year. And it changed my life. Following her and listening to her messages changed my realm of understanding. Not because I don't know God. I have a good relationship with God, right? Following her on social media, on Instagram to be precise, changed my perception of the spiritual. But following her on social media moved that relationship to another dimension. You know how you go from being friends to lovers? Yes. That was what following Prophet Joy on Instagram did for me. So many people are skeptical about this sign of things. I'm a Catholic, right? And I've always been very skeptical about spiritual courses, especially if it's not done by the Catholic Church. And the Bible also says you should test the spirit. Oh, I tested the spirit. I did. And it kept coming out 100%. So when the October cohort came up, I'm like, what? If just following her on Instagram can take me to this level, let me register for the course, because the deeper you go in to the intimacy with God, the more realms are open to you, the more you begin to understand, not from the physical, but from the spiritual. So I wanted to understand. I didn't want to become a prophet, honestly. I just wanted to have a deeper understanding, a deeper intimacy. I wanted to have this, I had this hunger. That was the reason I registered for the course. And we come in, and the orientation, they said, Abba will stretch you. They said he's even going to annoy us, In my head, I'm like, annoy us, okay? They said, I should get ready, he's going to stretch you. In my head, I'm like, why these people just hype you, just trying to scare us? Why? Is it not God? My sister, we were stretched. My brother, I see stretch. At a point, I came back to say, Prophet Joy, you know what? If I had known all these things were going to happen, I would come and leave this course for you people. I was stretched. Let me not lie. I was stretched. But the funny thing was, from October that I started taking the Nebayot course, it felt like I was on a very fast lane. Everything I needed to do, because my life got very busy towards September, business, family, so many things were happening at the same time. But guess what? I was excelling in everything. When they say that God's well done is more work, right? I understood it with Nebayot. When you're done with this, you're like, yes! He says, hold up, more work. His thank you, well done is more work. And that was what happened to me from October to December. God, it felt as if I was racing. But funnily, I was excelling. I was hitting A+, as in I was maxing everything I put my hands in this period, right? Then we get to the assignments. Oh my God. I wish there are no assignments. These assignments that is the craziest part. Some of the assignments, you go to the Bible, you won't even get answers. Because you were supposed to do the assignment with the Holy Spirit. Nebayot doesn't allow you to sit comfortably in your comfort zone. You join the course to understand God. You join the course to hear. You join the course to have that relationship. The assignments given in Nebayot are not assignments you do copy and paste. No. You must have to develop that relationship with God to be able to write your assignments and pass them. So even if your aim was to come to class after they teach, I go see the assignment. You must learn to communicate with the Holy Spirit for you to be able to do the assignments. And guess what? The assignments were your pass to the next class. If you don't submit your assignments, they yank you off. No apologies, no reforms. It was crazy, if I may say so. 3 months of intense spiritual training. But you know the most fun part of it? Me. I didn't want to be a prophet, let me not lie. It wasn't the plan. I just wanted to love God. That was all. Well, wow. The things that were unlocked in me. Till tomorrow, sometimes it feels unreal. Like I have to pinch myself. Like, Stella, is this you? And the funny thing is, it pours from me to people around me. It wasn't just me. Everyone around me could see something was different. Everyone around me became spiritual. And God did it in such a way that it didn't feel strange when I had to say some things. They all understood what I was saying. Why am I telling you this story? If you want to deepen your relationship with God, if you've been having that hunger, that fire in you, you want more. Because that was what I wanted. I wanted more. Sign up for the Never Health class. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It will stretch you. In fact, sometimes the Holy Spirit will play hanky-panky with you. He will do stuff that at a point I was so pissed. Let me use the word pissed. That I didn't want to go back to have conversations with him. But then again, he's your best friend. He's your constant companion. And he does some of these things so he prunes you. Pride, ego, he intentionally does some of those things to strip you of your humanliness. And oh boy, did he strip me. I am coming back for the February cohort because I realized with the October cohort, I just cracked.
Have you guys heard about this fashion designer Ejiro that's been missing on IG for long now? Styled by Ejiro, that's her IG name. So the family members and friends came out to publish on IG that they've been looking for Ejiro since January, which was the last time they set their eyes on Ejiro. And since then, there was no means of communication. They've not seen her or heard anything from her. How did this lady get missing? This lady met this particular prayer group on IG. And she joined the prayer group. The owner of this prayer group is called Joy Solomon, the woman leader of this prayer group. And the name of this prayer group is called Naibat Academy. That's the name of the prayer group. So she joined this prayer group and she was brainwashed to sell everything she had. Both her cars, all the money she had. They asked her to close down her business, that God is calling her. And they also asked her to sell all her jewelries and cut ties with her families, that her mother is a witch and her mother wants to buy her, that she needs to leave everything and move away from the family. Now this lady, the last time they saw this lady was January, and they've been looking for her, no means of communication and whatsoever. They can't even trace the owner of this group because they have shut down the group on IG, both their Telegram and everything. There is no way to trace this lady.
I've literally seen people who have done really inhuman stuff, rebrand, and come back as pastors, people that have the right to lay their hands on you, pray for you, and whatnot. Now, don't get me wrong. It's okay for you to be a bad person in the past and then rebrand and ask God for forgiveness and just do better. I'm talking about people that even while being pastors, they are still inhuman. They are still very terrible people. They are still wicked. They are still greedy. They are still all about themselves and how to milk, how to cheat the next person beside them. What triggered this whole conversation is I was going through Instagram and then I saw this post about these women prayer groups or whatever, and then they were talking about how it's becoming a cult and how people aren't allowed to, some people who have entered these prayer groups aren't allowed to interact with some family members of theirs, or even do some certain things that they used to do, which is like posting their business and whatnot. Now, I come from a home where my mom used to be so church-centered, and as a child I watched that progressively and realized that most of these churches do nothing but give you the next high to chase. This is because, aside my past experiences as a child, the most people who have done really terrible things to me in my life are people that always scream church, people that are always shouting church, people that are always shouting God, 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 pray, pray, pray. They even speak in tongues when they are praying. I'm not here to bash any church or here to bash any spiritual prayer woman group or whatever. Nah, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to tell you, as a woman in 2025, you can pray for yourself, you can speak to God. God will hear you and he will do all those things you want him to do for you. You don't have to be part of any prayer group. You don't have to be part of any women prayer whatever, because those things sham. You need to be aware of who you are first. That way you will not fall into the hands of all these shams and scams and all these religious people that just want to make money off of you and get things out of you for their own selfish benefits. I said what I said. If you come around me and you are too religious, I cut you off. Straight up. Because from my own experience, you can do and undo to me. I also don't subscribe to any women prayer group or whatnot, and then setting out belief system that I have to follow through to be a part of a prayer group. There's a certain way to dress, there's a certain class of women they go for. They're not start talking about, when I was in the world, I used to wear trousers, I used to do makeup. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your mouth. When you were in the world, where are you now? Pluto.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Monique, and today I'm not talking about wedding dress. I want to talk about my sister Ejiro. Most of you must have seen the post. My elder sister Ejiro is missing, and I have to also speak out so that I can create awareness and also lend my voice so we can bring her back home. Now, Ejiro is the second child in my family. I'm the fourth. Ejiro and I, we share a very interesting relationship. We fight a lot, but then we love each other so much. Now, my family, we were raised with love, we were raised with support. We do not leave anyone behind. So how this happened, it's something we are still trying to figure out. But then, I understand why it could happen to her, because Ejiro is a reserved person. So these people who claim to be spiritual people, but I call them scammers, swindlers, because all they did was to isolate my sister. They made her close her business. So on Instagram, they found Ejiro, or Ejiro found them on Instagram. I don't even know who found who, but I know that the lady that is behind all of this, her name is Joy Solomon, but she's also Joy, she formerly known as Joy Rokwe, and she is the founder of either Abba Speaks or About Academy. So Ejiro actually one day saw one post where the so-called Joy Solomon prophesied that she's I think she normally posts prophecy up there. She just puts, and that day it was Ejiro, you're gonna be a prophet, you're gonna sell everything, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and Ejiro just felt that prophecy was for her. And when she so there was this lady, one Tolu lady, who sent it to her or posted it on her status or something. Ejiro saw it, and then curiosity, she wanted to know more about it, and that's how she got hooked. Before I continue, I'm going to encourage everybody, especially women, and why am I doing this on my page? Because this is my business page, is to create awareness, like I said, because women, vulnerable women, are their targets. You need to know God for yourself. Earlier this year, I made a video, if you guys can go back or remember, I said before I say anything, I would encourage everybody to know God for yourself, because when you know God and you know who you are in God, you're not going to fall victim to this kind of scammers and people claiming to be God sent. Now, as this relationship with Ejiro and this group, I will call them a cult, progressed, she was instructed to sell everything. She was instructed that, she said God told her to close her business. We tried to convince her that she shouldn't close her business, but she was adamant. She refused to listen, because then they started they started hypnotizing her, and then she would not listen. She just thought they were hearing from God. Now, I'm going to mention this so you all should know. If you're a Christian, you need to be spiritually sound, because nobody needs to go to God on your behalf anymore. That was what Jesus Christ came to do. And thank God we just celebrated Easter. What Jesus did for us was to make us joint heirs to the kingdom. When Jesus met Mary, when Mary said at the tomb, Mary said, please, she didn't know it was Jesus, and she said, please, where have you taken my Lord's body? Until Jesus called her name, and then she said Rabboni, which is teacher. And then she knew that was Jesus, but she was going to touch Jesus, and Jesus Christ said, no, don't touch me. I haven't gone to the Father. Until I go to the Father, or I will go to the Father. And when I go to God, God becomes your God. And then that was the first time Jesus Christ actually said, tell my brothers, which were his disciples. That was the first time he called his disciples his brothers. And that's where we became joint heirs. So you don't need anybody to go to God for you. You have access to God. You have direct connection to God. God alone is enough for you. You don't have to look for what is not missing. I need to say that because I know a lot of women are following me on my page. You need to understand that Jesus already paid the price for you. It is Jesus minus nothing and Jesus plus nothing. Now, I'm going to go back to Ejiro. So, when they told her, Ejiro had a page called Style by Ejiro. She was doing so well. Our clientele are top Nigerians. She was sewing for governors' wives, senators' wives, senators' children, top Christian, top pastors' wives. If you see Ejiro, she's so loving. She's so amazing, a giver. She will see you and just take off her gold, her gold jewelry and give to you. She can give you her designer bags. That was how amazing my sister is. And then they knew that they could pray on her. She was dealing with midlife crisis. There's nobody that's not dealt with midlife crisis, and they took advantage of it. And then when it started, I kept sending her messages. I will put it out there. I'll say, Ejiro, you are loved. Jesus loves you. This is not God does not work in isolation. There are a lot of praying. For example, I'm going to use Pastor Nathaniel. Pastor Nathaniel, everybody knows he's the convener for Hallelujah Challenge. Madam NHN, thank you so much for posting this, because you posting it has brought awareness. Now, everybody knows Madam NHN also has a platform. Any platform that works in secrecy, any platform that will tell you isolate, you need to check it well. In fact, I would advise you, know God for yourself. So, they told Ejiro to isolate. They told her, my mother, my praying mother, Ejiro's widowed mother, is the one after her life. They will tell you that there's somebody in your family, because they want to isolate you. They need to keep you from everything you know. And Ejiro believed. My praying mother, who has been praying for us from birth, all of a sudden is a witch. My mom had 3 multiple surgeries done last year. She had 3 surgeries done. Ejiro didn't show up because of what she was instructed to. We kept trying to reach out to her. We couldn't get to Ejiro. While we could still reach out to her, I would send her messages. Ejiro, Jesus loves you. This is not the plan. And all of a sudden, she sold everything in her business. And then Ejiro used to live in an amazing apartment in Abuja. Like when I go there, it feels like I was living in heaven. A small heaven, I would call it. They told Ejiro to leave her house. You know, they use this kind of scriptures in the Bible. They use kind of scriptures in the Bible, like God told Abraham to sacrifice his own son. So then they will bring it and say, God can tell Abraham, who are you? And then they told her, God said, leave everything, take only one bag. And then they put a couple that is also in that same Nabal's group to go stay in Ejiro's house. One Minister Taye was the one they now put in Ejiro's house. And the guy stayed there for 1 year. Then Ejiro started living in hotels. Then she would not pick calls. Ejiro would not pick calls. But she would reply when she can. You would know that it's not convenient or there's something she's hiding from. But you know me, I have coconut head. I will keep reaching out to Ejiro because I'm troubled. I can't find my fighting partner anymore. I can't find my sister that loves me. My fashionable sister that when she sees me, when I go visit Ejiro, you will know that I met with a fashionista that will style me so well. Ejiro was so good that she could attract. Style by Ejiro was, in fact, let me tell you people something. Ejiro is a perfectionist. Ejiro is the one that made me know that sewing in Nigeria can be very tacky and annoying. When I see her finishing, she will tell me, Ejiro doesn't, to tell you how good she was, she doesn't like seeing stitches. She doesn't like seeing stitches in her work. So when Taylor sew, she would tell you, you need to go sew it again. She was so good. My sister was so good. So good that God blessed her. But these people, they look for single women, single ladies, vulnerable. In fact, they even go for married women. I hear by some of their members that some women had to leave their marriages. That's why I said, know God for yourself. When they bring those kind of nonsense to you, if your spiritual antenna is on point, you will know the response to give them. And so, when I got tired of all this, of trying to reach out, why we didn't really, start fighting this group was because we could still reach Ejiro. And all of a sudden, I had sent Ejiro some pictures this year, beginning of this year. The last time I chatted with her was, I said her Merry Christmas, and then she responded last year. Not knowing, we didn't know where she went throughout last year. I tried to track her down. I'll let her know, Ejiro, you're here, Ejiro, you're there. And then she would warn me, stop looking for me. I'll tell her, Ejiro, what about your mother? Is this how it's going to be? I didn't give up. She would fight me. Of course, I know she's not in her right frame of mind, but I wouldn't give up. And when I couldn't reach Ejiro again, then I flagged it. I said something is not right. Ejiro's number for 4 days has not gone through. And that was when I involved the police. And that was when this whole madness with their group started. And then we started, now, let me tell you something. I know women I'm going to say this now. Women that are successful or that shows to be successful on social media. Because I don't know if they are successful or not. I'm only going to speak for myself. I noticed that these people also advertised this group. And so I started reaching out to them. The first person I reached out to was Newborn Beauty. What's her name? Stella Indikile. I reached out to Stella Indikile. I called. I said I wanted to speak to Stella Indikile. Whoever picked up the phone from Newborn Beauty said I should tell them what it is. I said I want to speak to her personally. That has to do with a missing person's case. They said, okay, I have to give the information before they can tell her. Then immediately I mentioned my sister. That has to do with Nebaot. Immediately I mentioned my sister. They told me they will get back to me. I waited for the call, and then they said, "We're sorry, she's not going to talk to you. Or I mean, you can't reach her." I tried calling. I tried acting as if I wanted to book an appointment so that I could speak with her. Immediately they just hear my voice, they will just cut the call. So Stella Ndikile, I've tried to reach you to ask you where's my sister. You have not responded. And by the time they hit, and then the next person I reached out to was Joyce Awoshika, Joyce C or something like that, of Oriki Spa. She's also involved. She also marketed the group. A lot of people have sent me DMs yesterday when this whole thing blew up when Madam NHM posted it. They sent me a message to say Joyce C was part of it, that they joined the group because of Joyce C. I reached out to Joyce C on one international number, no response. Yesterday I checked their status. They were both on their way out of Nigeria. And then I sent a message to Stella Ndikile yesterday. I said, to our personal DM, I said, Stella, you are living your life. Your business didn't stop. You guys are in the same group. Why is my sister's life on hold and yours is continuing? Of course, I'm not going to get any response. But then it's no longer in our hands. The authority are involved. And I'm saying this because I know the next thing Ejiro would come outside and say she's fine, she's a consenting adult, and all of that. Ejiro, you see this video, I love you, but you have to come out and you have to see your family and we have to talk. Because we know that is not God's plan for you. And this Joyce Solomon, what we've heard about her is not shocking to me, because I know false prophets and their shenanigans and their madness and whatever they bring to the table. Joyce Solomon has...
Hello everyone, so my name is Obi Daniels and I'm Ejiro's brother. I don't know if you've seen the video or you've seen any chance post, or some other people have posted where there's this story about Ejiro that people are looking for because she joined a group. So a lot of things had happened, and we had, as a family, we had tried before now to see how we can get her. If you had seen one of the videos, I think NHM posted just a short clip of the video, how she came around to the office and we're having a conversation with her, and the whole thing was really bad. That we landed at the police station, Metama police station in Abuja here, and we're in police station for hours. In fact, we went to 2 police stations or 3 police stations that particular day. But at the end of the day, Nigerian police, as they would do, they threw the case out. They said we don't have any business to her, because she was saying that she's not taken against her will. She doesn't want to be with family. Family has not done anything for her and everything like that. Now, I'm doing this video because I just want to add some context to it, and also to say some things because I believe that we can learn from it. So, Ejiro joined this group as there was a prayer prophetic group like that, but it started with this lady Joyce Solomon. She would always post prophecies on her Instagram story, I believe, and Ejiro will be excited about those prophecies. She'll say this, she'll say that, she will mention Ejiro's name, and other people, just general prophecy. I'm sure some people saw it and people were excited about it. So one of the things I want to say to people that don't be too excited about stuff like that. Now, of course, I believe in prophecies, and I know that God can speak to you through different means, and prophecies are real and the rest. But a lot of people use it as a means to lure people. The Bible talks about fake prophets, so you will always expect it. So what I mean, don't be too excited about it. Test all spirit, as the Bible says, test all spirit. So I remember then Ejiro will be excited that somebody's calling her name and everything. And you know the way we all feel in church when a pastor calls your name, you're excited, like, finally it's your day and the rest. I know that feeling and the rest. So she joined them. There was this, they call it Nebaot Academy, where you pay some dollars, or $300 something and the rest, for like maybe 6 weeks or thereabout. And she started it. And I remember I was in the house at that time. She would join them, and I noticed there was this secrecy thing about them. So Ejiro can be in a Zoom meeting, having the meeting, while Joyce Solomon and the others will be in the Zoom and the rest, and you pass. She will like cover her system or cover the phone, more like you can't see. So I noticed all this, and I used to like, why are you guys guarding this thing like as if You can't tell. I remember then I was like, okay, who's this Joyce Solomon that you said is the convener and the rest? She would say things like she's a prophet in the Bible. They were always living in isolation. They are like, come on, it doesn't make any sense. And one of the things I would say to people, know God for yourself, because when you know God for yourself, people cannot just bamboozle you anyhow. People cannot just tell you things. When I heard that, I was like, come on, prophets in the Bible that what? No. We have different prophets in the Bible. Some of them decided to live in isolation, but some of them were pronounced and the rest. But anyway, those were attacks. I noticed that she was doing it in secrecy because I know that she knew that a day like this will come when the whole thing will burst, so people will not be able to find out. But anyway, she was attending. I remember at the time she even tried to lure my wife and I for us to join her and the rest. I think there was this general one they did. We joined, but I just felt no, something was off about these people and the rest, with all their tattoos and piercings everywhere and stuff like that. I just felt no, there's something off about this. But she continued. At that point, she was she joined genuinely because she wanted to know God. She felt like these people were giving her much more than what she had heard from where she was and everything and the rest. But I began to feel that something was off. After a while, she stopped attending the church she was attending, which was Koza. And of course, the people told her she stopped going to Koza. I think she said they told her to go to Apostle Selman's place. But after a while, she wasn't going anyone. Apostle Selman's Koza, she wasn't going. She was not dedicating her time to this group. And they were having meetings and the rest. She joined the Nebaut training and the rest. At that point, we just felt that something off about this, but we didn't do anything. Later, she said that she was closing her business, and if you knew her business, she was doing well. She makes clothes. She made clothes for a lot of prominent people, and the rest. She was really making good money. And she said she was going to shut down the business. I remember trying to discourage her that you don't have to shut down this business. If you're tired, if the business has been stressing you, there are better ways than the rest. Like joke, she sold the whole thing, closed it down, and she was at home doing nothing. 1 month, 2 months, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're worried. We're like, come on, something is up. And then when our rent was due, she couldn't renew the rent, and she said she was going to move out of the place. And we're like, do you really have to move out? Okay, we can find a way around it. We could pay the rent for you and everything. But at that point, she said shutting us out of it. So I was in Abuja. I was at my own place. But I noticed that she didn't even tell us when she moved out. I was like, come on, I'll come and help you move your things, or even help you sell your things. But she just told us that she had moved out. She's staying with a friend. She would sort herself that she's trying to have time with God. God will tell her what to do next. And I'm like, come on, there's something off here. You're saying God is telling you to close down your business. Now you can't pay your rent, and now you are waiting for God to tell you the next thing to do. I said, truly, God made some move like that in the Bible. God told Abraham, bring your son, everything, but there was a purpose in everything. And I said that even if it is, the Bible says you must be busy doing something. But at that point, she wasn't listening again, because those guys were already speaking, influencing her and the rest. So that's how she cut off. But then I noticed that she hardly would pick call. She would not come when family were gathering together to do something and everything. And one particular day, I can't remember how we just suspected that. Are you sure that Ejiro really moved out of that house and she's no more staying there? So one of my older sister and I, we went to that place in Abuja where she was staying in Jai, and we went to the house, and lo and behold, we found somebody else staying in the house. There was this guy called Tai, and I'm going to mention names because I want these people to come and speak out also, state their involvement, or tell the whole world I was part of them. Maybe I was deceived, I'm no more there, because I feel that some of these people, they hold some clues to us finding out who Ejiro is and some of these people. So this guy they called Tai, I've forgotten his son, maybe I put his picture on this video, and we met him with his wife and I think one of a child or something living in the house. So at that point I was like, okay. And amazingly, Ejiro's things were still intact. I'm talking about every single thing, our TV, our chairs, every single thing. We didn't go into the bedroom to know if anything, but everything, like as if she was still living in the house. So I said, okay, we're looking for Ejiro. Who are you and the rest? And I introduced ourselves, we're Ejiro's sibling. And you guys said they're friends, they're members of that group, that Abba's Heart Ministry, and that do the Nebaut Academy. I'm like, okay, so how come you're here? And the guy said that he came to Abuja to do something, and he needed a place to stay. And Ejiro said she had a place to stay, and the guy could come stay there. He didn't have the like, I don't understand. Ejiro told us that she had moved out of the house. She's going to stay with a friend somewhere else. She didn't tell us. How come you're the one staying here? And at that time, Ejiro was not picking our calls and everything. So at that point, I told the guys, I said, since you are communicating with Ejiro, let Ejiro know that we're looking for her, we're concerned, we're worried, what's going on. At that time, we didn't even know that things were really as bad as it's obvious today. And so the guy said he was going to reach out to Ejiro and everything. So we left. After a while, the guy said he spoke to Ejiro. Ejiro was like angry. Why did we get involved in our business? Blah, 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 and everything. And later, we also noticed that the guy stopped picking our call. Just noticed that the guy just didn't want to pick call again and the rest. So I remember speaking to the caretaker about it and everything. And the caretaker was like, truly, she was even wondering that Ejiro told her that this guy was her brother. That's thinking that I was the one. I said, no. How many brothers does Ejiro have? We're only 2. I'm the one here in Nigeria, the other one is not in the country, so who else and everything. So the lady said the caretaker said she even suspected that something was fishy, so she put pressure on the guy that that she want to see Ejiro and that she didn't rent the house to the guy and everything. But to cut long story short, the guy later moved out of the house. And that was how we couldn't reach the guy again. He wasn't picking his call, we couldn't find Ejiro and all the stuff. We began to ask questions, then we began to look. So we went to the website, so we began to search for them online. At that point, we noticed that they had gone offline on Instagram. They had deactivated their pages and everything, but at that time their website was still active. So we went to the website. I think it was www.abbasheartministry or something like that. So we went there and we saw 3 videos of people that was sharing their experiences of how they did the academy and how their life changed and the rest. Put her name on the screen, but she owns this business called Newban, whatever. But I'm going to put Instagram handles and everything so people can also reach out to her.
My name is Stella, also known as Solutionary Stella of Nebayot alumni, October 2023 cohort.
Now, I reached out to her, sent her ATM, and I saw your video on the website that you're part of these people. We can't reach you, what's going on, everything. I noticed that she did not respond to the chat. She did not even acknowledge it. I knew that something was up. My other sister even called her business, since she runs a spa in Lagos and Abuja, also called the business that she wanted to see their boss and the rest, and they were okay. We're going to so at the point where they were like, okay, the boss wasn't available. When the boss was not available, okay, we want to talk to the boss. The moment they told the boss, and the boss asked this lady, this Newban care lady or Newban beauty lady, and she found out that it was somebody related to Ejiro, about Ejiro, she immediately declined to talk. So we felt that something was fishy here. The only guy that spoke, he said that he was no more part of the group, and he had told them to take down this video, that he noticed that they were scammed, they were just everything that we found out today, that they are demonic, they're everything, that he had warned them to take down this video, that he to join them, wanting to know God and everything, but later found out that there was they were into a lot of things. And so the guy was even trying to help us and the rest, but he was no more part of the group. So, and once you leave the group, they will disconnect you because they know that you can go tell and everything. I'm going to try and stop this video now because of time. I don't want to make it too long. Maybe I'll do another video, but let me see how far I can go. So anyway, so that Newban lady, I want people to really ask her, try to do that close to her and everything, and ask her, you were part of this group, what's up? Are you still part of the group? Do you know Ejiro and everything? Because I believe that she has some information that can help us find Ejiro and also find this person that is part of this Joy Solomon of a lady. But anyway, to cut the long story short, one particular day I just received a call from a strange number, and lo and behold, it was Ejiro. We're like, oh, thank God, we've been looking for her. This was like maybe I think about 2 months or thereabout ago, or 3 months ago, and she just like, Ovi, where are you? And I said I was at the office and the rest. And she came with 2 other ladies. I'm going to put a clip of the video here. And she came with 2 other ladies, and they just burst into the office. And Ejiro just asked myself and one of my other sisters were in the office together. And Ejiro just came. Why are you looking for me? Why are you looking for me? Why are you going to spoil my name? Why are you telling? Came with this angry fight. I'm like, Ejiro, calm down. We are bothered about you. We are concerned, and we've heard some information about this group, and we're not comfortable and everything. And she started making noise. And notice that the 2 ladies that came with her and one other guy, they were 3. Immediately they entered the office, they all held their phone, they were recording. I was like, okay, what's going on? You can't come into our office and you're recording, please. Can you stop the record? And they were like, no, they're not going to stop that. The moment we took this matter online, it became their business and everything, more like speaking for her. At a point, like, okay, please, can you leave us? Want to talk to our sister? You would have heard the clip of my other sister saying you want to talk to our sister. They were saying they're not going to leave. At the point, I just got angry. I said, leave this office now. That I'm going to call security to throw you out. They were still adamant, and the rest. Security came, was even trying to tell that they were not willing to leave. Immediately, he got violent. I pulled, did everything, pulled them out of. So at the point, I just felt, wait, so if these people leave, Ejiro is going to follow them because Ejiro kept defending them and the rest. We now told security to lock the compound, that they are not even leaving. Let's go to the station. Since we are looking for our sister and we're looking for these people and the rest, that was how we locked the place. We insisted that we're all going to the station. At that point, they were trying to leave. We told them they couldn't leave. Ejiro was trying to leave also. But at that point, she was really fighting, insulting us, almost became violent, like as if we should leave her, that we have not been part of our life. You know, when somebody had been hypnotized and talking rubbish and the rest. And to cut long story short, we told someone to help us get some police officers. They came from Maitama police station. And I'm going to call the DPO of Maitama, and I hope he sees this video. Told her that there's something fishy about this whole thing, and tried to make him see. But I don't know what happened, and I can't tell whether money exchangers or whatever. But I just noticed that this DPO was just hostile towards us. We're just like, we were the ones that were at fault. That why did we throw them out of the office? That from the video that they showed him, that were violent, that almost injured the ladies and everything. And like, these people came barging in. They didn't want to listen. They're like, does this Ejiro look like she's held under captivity and everything? That we should all get out of the office. I'm talking about this whole thing happened for like hours, almost 6 hours, from the office to the first station to the second file. Like 3 different police stations we went to that day. And this happened maybe like 6-7 p.m. We were still at the police station, and the DPO said we should all get out of his office and everything without even taking statement. And we're even telling that, see, if Ejiro leaves, we're not going to see her again and everything. That these people look like, go and investigate, because I've been hearing stories of different people that they've been doing the same thing too. Anyway, that's how the police dismissed all of us, and Ejiro left with them. Later, we told somebody to trace them, to just drive behind them and see. And we later found out they went to the airport that night about 8 p.m. I don't know how they even got a flight out of Lagos. And from our own investigation, found out they went to Lagos, Ikorodu, and staying somewhere that we don't know. But I'm saying this to say to everyone that the more we talk about this, you realize that a lot of people have had issues with the same people, and the more we talk about it, the more we bring different information, the more we'll be able to investigate. And I pray that the right authorities will take this up and do something. But I know that some people know this lady, or even the other ladies. There's a Fumi Obembe, one of the ladies that came to the office that day. There's one, I'm going to put their video so people can see them. And the particular guy, and I'm also calling out the Tai guy, they call him Bishop Tai also. He said he's no more part of them, that he too was deceived. So okay, come out, say I was part of this group, but I'm no more part of it, and tell us what you know and the rest. But the point I'm making is that people, please don't be easily deceived. I know that Christianity has to do with faith and we trust a lot, but know God for yourself. I remember telling Ejiro all this, that it was so clear that these people, they were not genuine and the rest. They will give a prophecy. And anyway, that's not just it.
Pray that she's alive.
I pray she's alive too.
Omolola and King Sammy, look at it this way. Somebody that can make you sell all your belongings. Only
No, of course.
Yes.
No. Now we are saying
definitely
she's alive.
she's
How
halfway
do we
there.
know that she's alive? Do we know what she's passing through?
Thank you. Thank you. The last time family members saw her was in January of this year. January to now is a very long time. There could have been anything.
Yes.
Thank you, Olori Ainke Okin. I did, baby. Remy. Modupsi. Her name is Ejiro. Her business name is Style by Ejiro. She owned businesses in Abuja, properties, everything. No be small girl. No be small money. You understand? Successful, made. One day, because she joined a religious cult on Instagram.
See, I've been really sad in my spirit. And not just sad, angry, as in, you know, that holy anger, that why are people like this? Why are we gullible, especially women? And you know why this thing gets to women easily? Because we are the weaker vessel, we are emotional. We are not weak, but we are really emotional. So people get to us easily. Why would you be joining prayer group that is obviously a cult? As in the trend, in fact, I don't even know what to say, but more baking it, okay, pattern and change ni àwọn bí Guru Maharaji ja Ọlọ́run Oyinbo Jesu Oyinbo, you know, it was same method, just that now it is more advanced. So they tell people gbogbo nǹkan tó ní kó fọ́lọ́run mi mọ Ọlọ́run táwọn preach. So these people manipulate you. They manipulate you. It's just know God for yourself. When you join a group, prayer group or anything, if you know God by yourself, Spirit Ọlọ́run àná jẹ́ pé no, you are not supposed to be here. Know God for yourself and by yourself. No, Instagram ti dàrú. Gbogbo nǹkan tí mò ń kà yẹn ti wà láyé báyìí o. But àwọn eléyìí, nǹkan tó wá fi ń ṣe tí wọ́n ó lágbára. Know God for yourself and by yourself. Nobody saying you should not join any group. but be careful, be careful. Group them to go one way. Logba, one brainwash one manipulate one your long oh my God is a beautiful and rich God. Stop Shebe. Serve God. The most painful part is that these people they will make their victims cut off all tears with their family members. You know, they will rip them off all their belongings, all their properties. One you are cut tears with your family members. Or worse, because now they are cutting tears not just with their family members, but with their fans on social media. Because these people are big people on social media, probably influencers or, you know, or big names, turning business to run on social media for 2-3 years. They've not posted. They don't let them go to the world anymore. They lock them up wherever they are, even if it is a rented home or their camp or whatever. And it is annoying. It's so annoying. Family to tinda. Everybody. I'm sorry that everybody don't shabby. Sorry that I'm panting. I do a lot of brisk walking. I should talk about it very soon in one of my content. It helps the heart. And if you're in the UK and you don't work, are you in the UK? All right, see you guys later.
Styled by Ejiro, a well-known fashion designer in Nigeria, sold most of her things, abandoned her family, and ran off with a powerhouse ministry in all these churches that see prophecies for you. Now, everybody's saying, no God for yourself, no God for this and all that, and people are saying all manner of things. The question here is, why does it happen to a set or particular set of ladies? Ladies who are single, ladies in their 30s and late 40s, who have their own businesses. What do you think these ladies have in common? You may be seeing them as CEOs, but because I'm close to some of this age, I've got 2 friends who have experienced it in the past. It is because they are vulnerable. And these power ministries, these mushroom churches feed off that energy. And why are they vulnerable? They are all seeking companions. And why do people do this? You can be claiming, yeah, no God for yourself, no God for yourself. They did not run after those people because they are seeking God or that they do not know God. No. It is because they are vulnerable. It is because they are seeking one thing in common. They are all seeking companions. It happened to 2 of my friends. They sold their businesses, ran after this pastor. This pastor said for them to get closer to God that they needed nothing. And before you could say jack, they cut their families off, and then this pastor started benching a lot of them. This one happening right now is the only one you people know. There are a lot of such prophecy houses in Nigeria right now. And they are dealing with ladies who have good work, who are independent in their late 30s and late 40s. What do they all have in common? They are vulnerable. And why are they vulnerable? They are single and they are searching for somebody by all means. Before you could say Jack, this pastor started benching all these ladies. And I'm so glad that one of them has come back to her senses and returned to her family. I pray Ejiro is found. Violence towards Ejiro will make Ejiro run furthermore from the family. Pray hard for her, and at the same time, whenever Ejiro comes in contact with you people again, show her love. Ladies, no matter what anybody says to you, it's not about knowing God about anything. You need to start speaking positivity into yourself, no matter the process or the challenges you're going through. Show yourself love. The reason a lot of ladies fall prey to things like this is lack of self-love. Lack of self-love will make you vulnerable to anything that comes your way. And I hope and pray there's a prayer line link, or rather, on now. We're praying seriously for her. And a lot of ladies who are like this. So many are not on social media, but these things are actually happening. You see a big boss lady sell off her business, run after a lady or a man in the name of prophecy house. More videos are going to come soon because I don't want to make it too long. More wisdom.
Nǹkan tí mo rí lénìí, ó bà mí lẹ́rù. Ó bà mí lẹ́rù débi pé mo ti ń try láti wá bí mo ṣe lè ṣe content. Mo fẹ́ kọ́ ṣe lóyìnbó, bó ṣe mọ̀ pé ìlú yìí ẹ̀rù lè máa bà wọ́n ni mo ṣe pé jẹ́ kí n ṣe ní Yorùbá. So mo ka article kan lánàá tó sọ wípé wọ́n ń wá House of Ejiro, woman kan báyìí. She's a big entrepreneur leko. So ìgbà tí ọ̀rẹ́ tó raise concern pé òun ò rí kó upload lórí Instagram láti joy pé, and this is a big girl, she's a big person, she has a big fashion store and all of that pé kò make post for a very long time pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. So bóyá sọ under the comment section ẹnìkan wá kọ síbẹ̀ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n òun ni pé àwọn ò rí àwọn tí ń wà for a while pé ọ̀rẹ́ ló mú lọ sí program kan, àwọn group tó máa ń ṣe, àwọn church group tó máa ń ṣe yẹn, pé àtìgbà tó ti join group yẹn ló ti make sure pé òun ò ní contact pẹ̀lú anybody, ó cut ties with all her family members, àti ìyá o, àti boyfriend, àtọkọ, àtọmọ, àti everybody, pé kò bẹ anybody sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́. So ibi tó ti sọ ni other people ti wá jáde pé ẹ̀gbọ́n òun náà wọ́n had sí group yẹn, àbúrò òun náà wọ́n had sí group yẹn. In fact ẹlòmíì gan àtòun àtọmọ lọ́jọ́ kúrò lé, wọ́n ní wọ́n kàn kúrò lé lọ́jọ́ kan náà ní pẹ̀lú ọmọ. Wọ́n á dẹ́ni anybody má pè àwọn, wọ́n á change phone number wọn, wọ́n á change gbogbo ẹ̀. In fact some people they are looking for them for the past 2 years, ẹlòmíì ọdún mẹ́ta. Wọ́n ní tó bá ti há díẹ̀ sí group yẹn, admin yẹn, ó máa sọ fún ẹ pé first initiation process ni pé kó lọ lu etí ẹ̀ dáadáa, kó lu kó pọ̀, kó lu mú, kó lu àwọn, kó lu dodo, you know, kó ya tattoo sí gbogbo ara, kó change total outlook ẹ. Wọ́n ní prophetic calling ẹni pé part of the initiation process is you have to change your total outlook. Ṣé ti yé yín? Tó bá wá ti change total outlook ẹ tán, gbogbo àwọn tó mọ̀, tó bá yẹ pé o lọ́kọ, o ní bọ́kọ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́, tó bá lóbì, o ní bóbí ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́. Like you have to cut every external ties. The only people tó máa bá sọ̀rọ̀ làwọn tẹ́jọ́ wà ní that religious sect. Ṣé ti understand? So now this brings me back to gbogbo nǹkan tí mo máa ń sọ lẹ́kọ̀ọ̀kan pé ṣé ti wá rí pé àwa obìnrin, àwa la máa ń jẹ́ victims of religious scam jù, torí pé àwa lójú wa ò kì í gbébì kan. And I'm not trying to be judgmental, but the only thing tó lè jẹ́ kí èèyàn kó sí páńpẹ́ àwọn religious scammers yìí ni tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé èèyàn desperate. Tí ó bá ti gbé wá báyìí lọ́jọ́ kan pé mo níbi kan tí mo ń lọ o, ibi tí mo lọ yẹn báyìí, ìgbà tí mo máa débẹ̀ wọ́n kówó fún mi, ìwọ náà abẹ́kẹ́mi náà try ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run má dẹ̀ jẹ́ ká rà dánwò tó máa ju ẹ̀mí wa lọ, tó máa jẹ́ ká máa tójú bọ̀ lébọ̀ ẹjọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run. Kò síbi tọ́lọ́run ò sí, kò síbi tọ́lọ́run ò sí. Ṣọ́lọ́run wà roròdé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ni tó fi máa ní pé kó má bá wọn òbí ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀, kó má bá ọkọ ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀, kó má bá wọn tó mọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀. In fact, a lot of these women have closed their shops. They no longer do anything anymore. Big women, wọ́n lọ́pọ̀ nu wọn báyìí, wọ́n máa ta gbogbo àwọn irinṣẹ́ wọn díẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi wá close down business yẹn. I'm talking about women who have big fashion houses, who have big stores. Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, wọ́n wá ní kó máa ta gbogbo nǹkan ní wọn díẹ̀ ẹ kàn ní gbúrò wọn mọ́. They will just go off radar like that. And there are so many women like that. Táwọn èèyàn kan tí ẹ gbúrò mọ́, ẹ kàn máa rí pé ẹlòmíì ẹ kàn rí kó post anything lórí social media, ẹ máa wò pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n ti gbé wọn lọ o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní níbẹ̀ gan wọn kì í sọ Jésù, wọ́n ní Abba ni wọ́n máa ń sọ, Abba làwọn ń pray fún. Kọ́lọ́n wá ṣàánú, wọ́n ti gbé ojú woman tọ́lọ́n ló máa ń introduce wọn sí group yẹn, wọ́n ti gbé ojú ẹ̀ sórí social media. Mi mọ̀ bóyá ẹ ti rí, mi lè gbé síbí báyìí náà because I'm still doing a lot of my findings. Mi dẹ̀ fẹ́ wàhálà, but ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa kọ́gbọ́n from all of this thing. Your God is everywhere. Tó bá wà ní kọ́nà yàrá ẹ, Ọlọ́run wà ń bẹ̀. Tó bá wà nínú mọ́tò ẹ, Ọlọ́run wà ń bẹ̀. God is everywhere. Ẹ má jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn kí wọ́n máa introduce yín sáwọn nǹkan tó burú. Tẹ́lómi bá wá sínú inbox yìí tó bá wá drop lámbàǹgbà mi báyìí, wàá wò pé ṣé torí picture mi tẹ́ ẹ rí náà lẹ sáré profile mi tẹ́ sáré máa dúró nǹkan báyìí nípa mi. But tán bá ti rí pé wọ́n náà fúnra rẹ̀ tójú bọlé ẹran núrù ni ẹ, ó máa easy fún wọn láti pé kán gbé nǹkan tó ju ẹ lọ fún ẹ. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká rí wàhálà tá máa jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní tójú bọlé bọ ẹjọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run. Tó bá jẹ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ owó yìí àti kọ́kàn wá balẹ̀ náà, bá òkú ìṣe òtán o, ẹjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ní sùúrù o. They are still looking for these women. I pray they are found. In fact, some of them went with 2 children, 3 children. Wọ́n lọ withdraw àwọn ọmọ wọn kúrò ní school. Àwọn ọmọ tó ń lọ sí expensive schools, wọ́n lọ yọ àwọn ọmọ yẹn kúrò ní schools. Wọ́n dẹ̀ cut ties pẹ̀lú gbogbo family members wọn. This is very sad o. Kọ́lọ́n jẹ́ kán rí wọn láàyè. Kọ́lọ́n má dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ kí wọ́n ti yí wọn lórí dànù, because irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kéèyàn tó lè gbà láti pé òun ò fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tóun ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀, òun ò fẹ́ bá mọ̀lẹ́bí òun sọ̀rọ̀, ṣe mọ̀ pé ó ní nǹkan tán ti máa ṣe sọ́pọ̀lọ ẹni yẹn. It is well o, Ọlọ́run máa fi ṣọ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ wa, ẹ má gbàgbé, kò síbi tọ́lọ́run ò sí o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
So since yesterday, a woman called Ejiro, a fashion designer, has been missing. They say she joined a prayer group run by one woman. But the funny thing is that they bewitched her into selling her properties, letting off everything she has got, her business, everything crippled down for her to join this prayer. They were able to get her through a bet of prophecy. They were prophesying for her. And they, in fact, as I continue to read, revelations of people giving account of what happened to their relatives, female relatives. I mean, this prayer group targets the rich and affluent among women. And I heard that they call it a spiritual awakening course or whatever thing they call it. That is 350,000 naira they charge. So they made this Ejiro to sell her property and started living in a hotel. So all her property was gone. And they made her believe that her mother is a witch. 325,000 per course. They call it school of prophetic. What a terrible world we live in. So this woman now has been missing. Everybody is raising alarm. Where is Ejiro? Where is she? She is nowhere to be found because she is on exile for a spiritual awakening course. We've had a lot. This is not the last, and this will surely not be the last of stupid cases we are going to hear about what is happening to so many Nigerian young and enterprising women. They said the person, Joy Solomon is what they call her, or many other names, that she's now going with. Shabak, praise and worship. There are a lot of sub-prayer groups that these women have been joining. What are they even going for this prayer for? They go there to be bewitched into believing that their brothers want to kill them, their family members want to kill them, their mothers, their parents want to kill them. And the way to solve the problem, to deliver them, is for them to become enemies with their own family members. Imagine you being a human being. Right from childhood, your mother and father did not kill you till you got married, you have kids, you have business, established business, and that's where someone from nowhere come and prophesy to you that your mother is a witch. You must be a daft person. Shabak, praise and worship. In fact, as I continue to read, imagine the Obanje woman who is actually standing. You can see the picture. The Obanje woman who is the prophetess that is dishing out prophecy for them. Even by their fruit, Bible says you shall know them. Even by making her piercings all over the place, painting her face like Jezebel, typical Jezebel in the Bible. And that's why we tell people, know God for yourself. People go to church just to go and wear clothes, just to parade themselves. Everybody can hear from God. Hear it and hear it now. Whosoever, as long as you are a Christian, you identify with Christ, you can hear from God. It's just about how you handle your relationship with God. If you take your relationship with God serious, God is not a talkative. God can speak to you at whichever level and on whichever topic. He can speak to you. Gone are the days that somebody will need to travel in the Old Testament, need to travel to the mountains, to a faraway distance to meet a prophet or a priest to hear from God. God is now inside of us. Emmanuel, God with us, God in us, and God for us. So many people are just, in fact, people that don't go to church are better than you. Are just going to church. Sometimes you don't even listen. You don't even know anything. And that's why every day, just like Ponzi schemes in Nigeria. The latest one is CBEX. Another one is coming out maybe by November or by January next year. And they will still scam Nigerians. Because as this CBEX is trending now, many people will not take time to listen to the concern, what people are saying. They will see the video, they will push. What they like watching is rubbish. Look at this Ejiro matter now. The news is going all over the place. Nigerians will not listen. Nobody want to listen to know what is happening. To take caution, they say to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Nobody want that. They just like fixing their gaze, feeding on rubbish, something that will damn their soul. They just want all these uncensored contents. That's what many Nigerians, many people wants to watch. Content that will help you, content that will add value to your life, nobody will watch. Can you imagine that a woman that is so established, Ejiro, she has her own empire, fashion designer, she has worked for a lot of people, only for her to be bewitched by one Obanje, that her mother is a witch. She should join one prayer course group, 3 months prayer course. They charge her 325,000. She sold her properties, sold everything she has, and they told her that a scandal will come up again because they know they are going to scam her. So they are also deceiving her that some a scandal will come up. She should deactivate it. This woman deactivated her account and disappeared. They are calling where is Ejiro. After Ejiro, will still put another hashtag. Where is Linda? Where is this? Where is that? Because Nigerians don't like listening. Nigerians always like learning the hard way. How can a matured woman like that fall into such prayer group? In fact, as I continue to read the testimonies, the confessions from various people, I begin to wonder, and I'm asking, what is wrong with Nigerian people? You go into prophecy, want to become a prophetess. For who do you want to prophesy to? Or you have the mindset of running church as a business. I think that's just the whole idea. Church now has become business. So they open these groups, they will tell you the cost, the spiritual awakening cost, or whatever thing they will term it, is 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, and you foolishly pay. Bible says freely you receive, freely you give. These people, and we should even test every spirit whether they be of God. These people clearly, they are not from God, they are working for the devil. Look at even the heavy makeup and terrible appearance of someone who claimed to be a prophetess. Is a shame that this woman called Ejiro fell to such deception, and many others who joined her in such scam, religious scam. Now people are speaking up, and in fact, as I read the confessions, I heard that the woman will force them not to record a class session, force them to use earphones while on the session. Just is a religious cult bounded by secrecy, upheld by secrecy, and now Ejiro is missing. No one knows her whereabouts. So whatever thing you are, even though you know you are going to die, tell your family where you're going to die, so that when you die, at least they'll come and pick your dead body and bury you. A lot of things happen in this country. When we say, okay, let's finish this one, another one will come up. Where is Ejiro? Everywhere. I don't even know Ejiro. But when I try to look at her profile, even her Instagram account is deactivated. So this Joy Solomon, or whoever that is running the prayer group or spiritual court or prayer court, has taken her full captive. And you never know where they could be. It's a shame.